How did you get that footage of Diddy?
I figured most journalists would not disclose their sources.
If Sean Combs watches this, what do you think he's going to feel?
Like, wow, this is amazing. I think he's going to say this is the best documentary I've seen in a long time. My favorite villain? I kind of like Diddy.
There are no misconceptions about me.
You guys don't need to worry about me getting revenge from Diddy. I've got 3 moves that make sure he'll never be able to come after me or my family. First, I personally reached out to the victims' legal teams. The real reason he's not getting out is those buried cases behind the scenes. I provided legal funding for 7 victims who had been silent for years and brought in the top criminal attorneys in the country. Second, I bought up every potential post-release business deal he had lined up. I planned this 2 years in advance, so by the time he got sentenced and still had hope of getting out, every partner had already cut ties with him. Third, I don't just have evidence, I've got backups. This is an entire minefield that's been buried for 20 years. I uncovered every secret from the last 30 years. With testimonies from the victims, we interviewed over a dozen people he tricked, threatened, or violated. You think that's harsh? No, he destroyed other people's lives for decades. I'm just making sure he spends a few extra years in prison for it. I'm not afraid of his people, not afraid of his threats. I know he's still in there fantasizing about a comeback, but the truth is, he's never coming back.
Dallas-based Bishop T.D. Jakes has finally addressed the growing speculation surrounding claims about his alleged connection to events linked to Diddy. Recent reports suggest he may be considering legal action against individuals who have publicly connected his name to the ongoing controversy. Following recent headlines involving Jay-Z and Beyoncé, Jakes has become another prominent figure mentioned in discussions surrounding the broader fallout from the Diddy case. The situation has sparked widespread curiosity, leaving many people wondering what, if any, connection he had to these events. Music, what allegations are being made, and how has Jakes responded?
People get on my nerves talking about who you should be seen with. I do homeless shelters. I walk in prison ministries. I deal with murderers. I deal with rapists and killers because they're our children, our sons, and our daughters. It's good.
Here we are.
Anytime, sir. You break for y'all, all the people who prayed, all the people who tested, all the people who had prayer vigils, all the people who were concerned and sent love and sent notes. Thank you. Just great. I'm not afraid to die. I want to hurt my face. The people who love me, the church hates me. Almost the
On November 25, Bishop T.D. Jakes filed a defamation lawsuit against Pastor Dwayne Youngblood after Youngblood publicly accused him of misconduct that he claimed began when he was 18 years old. Youngblood alleged that the incidents occurred during church-related activities and claimed he had witnesses and phone records supporting his account. The allegations were serious and quickly attracted widespread public attention. Since then, Bishop Jakes' name has also appeared in legal filings connected to Diddy and has been mentioned by comedian Cat Williams while discussing the broader controversy. Jakes was referenced in a lawsuit filed by Lil Rod against Diddy, which included allegations that Diddy may have relied on Jakes' religious influence to help improve his public image. According to the complaint, Jakes was alleged to have used his position at the Potter's house in ways that benefited Diddy's reputation and strengthened his social connections. Music, although Bishop Jakes has denied wrongdoing, he has not publicly addressed every claim concerning his alleged attendance at events associated with Diddy.
Imagine being 18, 19 years of age. This person is killing it, and they're saying to you, come on in, let's talk. And so I did. I went in. We sat down at a very long dining room table in a room that she had. And for 2 hours, it was unbelievable. Pouring of heart, crying, him talking about my father, we talking about these scenarios, and I inwardly just knew I had finally found someone who could get it, someone who understood. I'm sitting at this table, and for the first time talking to any man, I got tears coming down my face because somebody gets me. Somebody understood what I was going through. Well, after sitting there and having this long discourse with him, I finally look at my watch and I'm like, oh my goodness, I got to go. I got to get this car back to my mother. She's going to kill me. So I said to Bishop, I got to get up. And I got up from the table. He got up from the table. He walked around toward the way I had to exit quicker than I got over there. And when I started to walk past him, he pulled me to himself, wrapped his arms around me and tried to kiss me. And in that moment, I literally died. I could not. I tell you, to this day, I can't remember how I got out of that place. But I remember driving home with all kinds of crazy thoughts and what in the world am I going to do now? And I finally get home, get in the house, get in the bed. I'm going to try to go to sleep. And I get to sleep and get up in the morning. And in the morning, I step into our bathroom and my home phone rings. My mother answers the phone and she says to me, Wayne, it's Elder Jakes. And I get on that phone. And when I get on that telephone, I can hear water. He is sitting in a bathtub. And in that thing, he says to me, without any hesitation, there's 3 things I need you to do. The first one is, when I come to Pittsburgh, you're going to be the only person I sleep with. The second one is, you can't sleep with anybody else because I don't want to give my wife anything. And thirdly, I will take care of you the rest of your life. I can't to this day remember how I got off that phone, but I do know I made a decision that I wasn't going to the service that night. And eventually I told my mother, I'm not going to go to the service tonight. She says, no. You know, we got a rule in this house. If we go, you go. I never told her what he had done. I went to church, and the most humiliating thing imaginable happened that night at church. Bishop Jakes, getting up to preach, speaks into that microphone. I'm going to ask young minister Youngblood to read for me. And after all of that drama of the last 24 hours, I had to read.
Several individuals have claimed that they saw Bishop T.D. Jakes at events associated with Diddy, including the music mogul's widely discussed all-white parties. One person, identified as Gandalf, reportedly claimed that Jakes was present and questioned why a prominent religious leader would be connected to someone facing such intense public scrutiny. In earlier remarks, Gandalf also alleged that certain pastors had connections to Diddy's inner circle, suggesting that some religious figures may have maintained carefully crafted public images while keeping different private associations hidden.
Now, Dallas pastor T.D. Jakes is named in a federal lawsuit against musician Sean Diddy Combs.
It's filed by a producer that worked with Combs. It discusses how the singer planned to leverage his relationship with the bishop to soften the impact on his public image of Casey Ventura's lawsuit. Ventura is a former girlfriend of Combs who filed her own lawsuit in November alleging abuse, violence, and sex trafficking.
Meanwhile, Combs' lawyer is criticizing the raids at 2 of the hip-hop mogul's homes in a federal sex trafficking investigation. He called them an unprecedented ambush. It comes as we're getting a new look inside Combs' L.A. house after the search by federal agents. Carter Evans has details about what the feds have uncovered so far.
Guns, cell phones, and other electronics are among the items taken from the homes of music mogul Sean Diddy Combs, according to a source familiar with the search warrant performed by federal agents at his properties in Los Angeles and Miami. TMZ says this video shows the aftermath of the raid inside Combs' LA mansion. Drawers empty, documents scattered, and safes opened and searched. Hours after the raid started, Combs was seen walking around the Miami Opa-locka airport, according to TMZ, which also obtained this video. Later, at the same airport, authorities arrested Combs' associate, Brendan Paul, and charged him with drug possession. In a civil suit filed against Combs by former music producer Rodney Jones, Paul was accused of being a drug and gun mule who allegedly aided Combs in sex trafficking. Yesterday, Diddy's lawyer called the law enforcement action nothing more than a witch hunt based on meritless accusations made in civil lawsuits.
Could this federal investigation have come out of these private lawsuits?
Oh, absolutely. If it involves sex trafficking or drugs or weapons or other illegal behavior.
Lori Levinson is a former federal prosecutor.
They've decided this is worth a lot of resources across the country. So once they've done these searches, they have evidence to follow up on. And if they've got it, they'll move on it.
We still here, you're rocking with the best.
Even though Combs has not been publicly named as a target of the investigation, he says he's now prepared to fight to clear his.
Diddy, known for carefully managing his multi-billion-dollar brand and public image, has always placed significant importance on his reputation. Some reports have claimed that he made substantial donations to Bishop T.D. Jakes' megachurch and alleged that Jakes' public influence helped strengthen Diddy's image. However, these claims have not been established in court. Since Jakes' name appeared in legal filings, various reports and unnamed sources have suggested that he has faced increasing public pressure, with some even claiming that he appeared unwell during a church service. People close to him have reportedly said he is concerned about being drawn further into the ongoing legal disputes and hopes to avoid becoming more deeply involved as the situation continues to develop.
1 drink, 2 drinks. And if those girls was drinking out those bottles that he said Diddy laced, and he could show on camera, and he could show that some people had passed out or some people were acting a certain way after they had those drinks, he won his case on that one.
When you was around Diddy, was he doing drugs, like party drugs, like ecstasy and stuff like that?
Diddy wasn't the dude he is today when I was around him. You understand? He had just started, when I was about to leave, he had just started with because he never smoked weed, he never smoked cigarettes, I never seen him do cocaine or none of that shit. You understand? He would have it for people to do it. You understand? It's certain of his girls like to do it, and he would make sure it would be there. But he wasn't the one that did it. Then he didn't start getting hooked on drugs until he got hooked on those painkillers. After he got hooked on those painkillers, he started drinking more, because he wouldn't even drink hard liquor. He was only drinking champagne, Don P or Cristal. He was not drinking hard liquor then.
Yeah, that's real talk, man. And he also claims that, Diddy, he was using T.D. Jakes to fix his image. You believe that?
Well, we saw that to be true anyway. That's what he was trying to do all that time. That's why T.D. Jakes was there, to try to fix his image.
Reports have circulated claiming that footage recovered during federal raids on Diddy's Miami property may include a person identified by some as a pastor. Authorities have not publicly confirmed the identity of anyone appearing in the recordings. However, some commentators, including Gandalf and individuals who describe themselves as alleged victims, have speculated that the person could be Bishop T.D. Jakes. Those claims remain unverified. Some reports have suggested that the alleged recordings are a source of concern because, if they were released and authenticated, they could significantly affect the public reputations of anyone identified and potentially become relevant to ongoing legal proceedings.
How do you feel about these rumors surrounding, Diddy and T.D. Jakes?
Man, what I think about it is this, when I grew up in the church, the sinners was not supposed to have the same atmosphere with the saints. You have to be able to separate the two. So I'm looking at him as a saint going to a party that ain't nothing but sin, drinking, maybe fornication, man on man, woman on woman, he on she. But maybe he'd have to lay some hands on somebody. Maybe he'd have to save some souls. I know he got a contract with Revolt, so I'm just like, it's just real strange that he would be found at any kind of Diddy party or any kind of place with Diddy unless it's in a business atmosphere. So now what he's doing is he's making the Christians look real bad right about now.
And you've been to these parties, right?
Oh yeah. I was there when he was doing the white parties in the Hamptons and the whole 9 yards. So I know what goes on at the parties. If, they probably got a little bit more freakier, as time went on, because they got to the point whereas that they didn't even care. It used to be secretly, where people used to go to, separate rooms and different rooms, and they wasn't doing that out in the public, but now they don't care. Men kissing men and all this other that's just crazy.
So why do you think he was going to these parties?
I think that he's going to the Diddy parties, bruh. If he's going, we know he's going to the Diddy parties, and I know that it's, I know what usually happens at the Diddy party, or what we told us happened at the Diddy parties. Maybe he needs to see it for himself, man. Maybe he needs to go there and really be involved in some things that could help save some individuals while they going to those parties. Or maybe he just going to, man, it's hard to even talk about. Why would you find a religious man, when you know that the saints supposed to separate themselves from the sinners? And why would a religious man like himself be at a party which ain't nothing but sin that's going on, bro? Whether it's drinking, maybe fornicating, maybe, like I said, men on men, women on women. It's hard to put in perspective unless he's involving himself what is actually going on at the parties. It's hard, brother. Bro, you can't, I really don't know why, as a spiritual advisor to him, that they buddy when he got a party with him like that and be at his parties. It's got to be, maybe it's something more that meets the...
Several legal analysts have pointed to what they describe as a recurring pattern in allegations involving Diddy and some individuals associated with him, arguing that the reported misconduct was allegedly connected not only to sexual behavior, but also to power, control, and intimidation. One of Bishop T.D. Jake's accusers has described a similar experience, alleging that he was made to feel powerless and humiliated. He also claimed that there was an occasion when Jakes allegedly told him that he belonged to him. These allegations have not been proven, but they have contributed to broader public discussion about how influence and authority may factor into cases involving powerful public figures. So why do some people find these claims convincing? And what could these allegations ultimately mean for everyone involved as the legal process continues?
Celebrity friends is going to speak or say nothing until they're either contacted or they know what they really got.
So you feel like they might be worried that they might be on tape at one of Diddy parties doing something they wasn't supposed to be doing?
I think that the celebrities that may be worried is because what Lil Rob said. Lil Rob said in this affidavit that Diddy had every room taped and bugged. Diddy had, can you imagine? He had every room taped and bugged, and they found little bugs and little tape recorders. I mean, little those micro projectors or whatever like that, or video cameras. They found them in the house, bro. So by them having those things in the house, and people know there's drugs, there's alcohol, there's loose women, there's loose men, woman on woman, man on man. all kind of crazy shit. Bruh. They just wondering who or when they're gonna let this stuff be.
Some commentators have speculated that Bishop T.D. Jakes may have been among the public figures allegedly pulled into Diddy's sphere of influence. Music, according to these claims, Diddy allegedly invited prominent guests to private gatherings, where some have accused him of secretly recording compromising situations and potentially using that material as leverage over certain individuals. These allegations remain unproven, and no official findings have confirmed that such a scheme existed or that Bishop Jakes was involved. Even so, the claims continue to circulate online, raising questions about whether other high-profile figures could eventually become connected to the broader legal controversy.
Cases, and why didn't you believe in others that you were presented with?
Well, the thing with a sexual abuser is they follow a pattern. They fall to type, and you become very clear on what that pattern is, particularly a serial sexual abuser. And these cases were all identical in the facts, identical in the story. It was beginning, middle, conclusion.
They know each other?
Boom. None of them knew each other.
Did you have them meet?
No.
Did you have them coordinate stories?
No, no.
Do you think they had any contact with each other before they came to you?
Absolutely not.
And when you were talking to them, well, first, the ones that you didn't take, why not?
Stories didn't make sense. Stories didn't fit the pattern. Stories were not credible. I mean, this is my 30th year as a lawyer. I've tried over 100 cases. I can assess whether somebody's story is credible. And if I don't believe it, I'm not going to put my name on a pleading, sign it, and file it in court. I'm not doing that. And that's what I did with the 60 plus cases that I rejected.
And this is not really your area of expertise. If people will look you up, celebrity lawsuits is not really where you make your bones. Why this?
Well, I was involved in the Weinstein litigation. Right. I was involved in the Paducah litigation. I was involved in the Hayden litigation. Why did I do this? I do this because it's important. I think it's important for people to be heard, have their chance to get the power back. Because sexual abuse, sexual assault is about one thing: taking power, humiliating, demeaning a person and a victim. It has nothing to do with sex. And so I think it's important. I think it's important to get the word out. I think it's important for men to feel, hey, look, I can come out and be heard just like a woman could.
And the defense that, look, they knew what they were getting into. These are regrets. They went there, they partied, and now they see a pocket.
No, I don't think so. My client
was... Were they gay men?
One was bisexual, the other ones were not. And they were going there. The client who was bisexual worked for Diddy. Diddy owed him money for doing errands for him and being his step and fetch, for lack of a better word. And I think it was a power move. It was a clear power move because this guy had the nerve to come to him and say, you owe me money. And so Diddy said, come on to the Intercontinental Hotel. He gives him the drug, knocks him out, sodomizes him. And I won't use the term that my client used, but said he tried to turn me into his B word. And I think it was a clear power move on each and every occasion. I think the ones that took place in the Park Hyatt, that wasn't partying. My client met him at a nightclub in the city here with a music producer. He didn't think he was getting into that. The man who was in the Hamptons, he thought he was going to a white party. Who wouldn't want to go to a white party? I would have gone to a white party back in the day. I wouldn't go now, but they went there innocently. And
some observers have suggested that Bishop T.D. Jakes may have been another public figure allegedly drawn into Diddy's sphere of influence. According to these reports, Diddy allegedly invited well-known guests to private gatherings, where some claim they were secretly recorded in compromising situations, with the recordings allegedly later used as leverage against certain individuals. Music, some commentators have speculated that this was one way Diddy allegedly maintained influence over people within his circle, with Jakes being mentioned among those discussed. However, none of these allegations have been officially confirmed, and no court has established that such events occurred or that Bishop Jakes was involved.
They saw what he did to Cassie. With the kicking, the punching. They saw what they did to Cassie. They know that nobody in America liked that. So now, these people are represented by a brand. Whether it's something about the music, clothing, movies. They're not gonna come out and speak on nothing that has anything to do with them. And they praying that they not on the tape doing crazy stuff, being oiled up in the whole 9 yards. They praying. So until the feds say, hey, yo, listen here. We got you on, hey buddy, we got you on this tape, and the girl looked like she was pretty young. We're not gonna show it, but we need you to come and testify against Brother Love, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, you know, Sean Combs. That's when they're gonna start talking, and they're not gonna be talking in his favor. When the feds come to them and show them what they got on tape, because if he had 250 tapes all over, 250 cameras all over the house, somebody got caught stealing a cookie out the cookie jar. It could be your favorite pastor. It could be your favorite politician. But they didn't think they was being watched. And Brother Love was watching.
Yeah, I mean, T.D. Jakes, he hasn't even came out and said anything. And him and Diddy was real cool.
Amen. Amen. Yeah, man. And I know the people in the congregation over there is shaking in their boots, because this man didn't led them, probably allegedly led them to damnation, because those people's hearts are going to be broken if that man is seen on those tapes doing anything. Because people always put their faith in the pastor instead of putting their faith in God. And what they need to do is understand that he's just a man. And he has a history. It's not looking too good for him.
So you feel like celebs are worried that they might be on tape?
Oh, they know. That's why they ain't speaking up or saying nothing. Yeah, I was at a Diddy party, but I know I ain't do nothing. When you don't know somebody's taping you, when you don't know that somebody is videoing you in some kind of form or fashion, you got that alcohol, you got the drugs in you, they're a little loose, bruh. They let down all their inhibitions. The music is pumping. He said it himself. He got it so hot in there that you got to take your clothes off. He said that.
Despite Diddy's extensive list of celebrity connections, only a limited number of public figures have openly defended him, leading many to speculate about what others may know or why they have chosen to remain silent. Some commentators have connected that silence to reports of alleged recordings said to have been recovered during the federal investigation, although the contents of any such material have not been publicly verified. Others have suggested that fear or possible reputational consequences rather than loyalty could explain why many people have remained quiet. Bishop T.D. Jakes, whose name has been mentioned in connection with the broader controversy, has not publicly addressed every allegation. As lawsuits continue and more information emerges, it remains unclear whether he had any involvement, was unfairly pulled into the controversy, or has simply been affected by the intense public attention surrounding the case. Hey.